Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 5 of the TechTeenth Podcast, where tech and Black excellence meet. I'm Janita, and here is...
I'm Charles.
Otis. Ricks.
Awesome. You already know us. I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, how y'all feeling today?
Well, new listeners.
I know.
Never heard us.
You know.
So maybe we should introduce ourselves.
I know, right? Maybe
until we get a drop.
Right? Something nice. Right. Something nice. So how y'all doing today?
I'm good. I feel good. How about yourself?
I feel fantastic, actually.
I'm like a 9.5 out of 10.
Hey,
I heard online. See, we just talked this last time. So I heard online. If you put a number to how you are, it's more memorable than just saying I'm good.
Oh,
So
I like
there you
that.
go. That's your first tidbit for the day. I've been using numbers all week at work, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?" At first, they're taking it back because they're like, "What do you mean you're 9.5?" They're like, "Wait, oh, you're 9.5 out of 10? Okay,
It's pretty good.
Somebody asked me, like, "Are you using the Richter scale?" I was like, "No."
Oh my God.
Like,
There's always one. There's always one.
well, I'm like a 9.5.
Yeah, well, we're happy today, and that's really good because today we are actually talking about the opposite of what you guys caught last week, which is a over dependency with technology, over usage, over reliability, because there's a lot of that today.
Yeah.
So
In our own lives.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Even right now.
Right. Look, we got 3 phones, an iPad, and a laptop.
Right.
And my MacBook in my book bag. So
And there's guiding tools. They're guiding tools.
yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy. So I think we know that there's a term. No,
there is a term. There's a term. So it's nomophobia. Y'all heard of this? Nomophobia?
no,
What is
you
it?
just told us
I
there
know.
was a term, and it sounds crazy, but
So nomophobia is the fear of being without your phone or device.
it almost feels like adjacent to FOMOphobia.
does.
You know, like I'm fear of missing out phobic.
That's probably where it came from.
So
But
another phobia because of the technology age. Okay.
any kind of fear is a phobia.
True.
Right? So fear.
True.
There are people in this world that are scared to be without their device. Like they can't be without it. I mean, actually, there's a stat I have for that. Gen Z, 80% of Gen Z check their phone within 5 minutes of receiving a notification. And Gen Z also spends an average of 7.3 hours on their phone outside of work.
Outside of work? Yeah, no.
Outside of work. So Gen Zers are getting in on the devices.
That's
Like,
crazy.
it's a lot. So yeah, if they don't have their phone, they're probably like, oh my God. Like
They're not connected.
something.
Well, actually, I will say,
Definitely.
I think our assumption, though, also is that it is dependency on socials.
Yeah.
Because my most scary tech days are like when it's like you've been on your phone and I'm like, honestly, it's days when I'm like in the nail salon.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching a show, or if I've traveled a lot and I'm watching something that I've downloaded. So I do think sometimes it's like the assumption, because we cannot be boomers and start just using Gen Z as the excuse or like labeling everybody
That's
as a
true.
Gen Z. Like there was this, I saw a video and it was like millennials probably don't even know how to wake up in the morning, or they would not know what to do if they had their own home. And somebody was like, you do realize we're all like the oldest millennial is 47 or
Right,
something like that now. It's like, what are you talking about? So I don't want us to be that,
Yeah.
but I do think that there are a lot of other ways that probably people who are so dependent are using some of these tools.
Yeah. So do y'all think y'all have nomophobia sometimes? Not like all the time, but like
The fear of not having my phone.
yeah, the fear of being without your phone or device.
Yeah.
I think I used to. If I lost it.
Yeah, I was
Because
gonna
now
say,
it's like my contacts,
losing it
it's
is different.
everything. Now you
Yeah.
got everything's in the cloud now. I think before the cloud, I was probably scared of losing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
when I lost my phone in Toronto, I was terrified. So yes,
And to a certain extent for other reasons of like, now I have my credit cards on my phone. I have, like access to all these things. And I think it's a little less of like the fear of missing out on something more than the annoyance of what I would have to do
And resetting.
to reset,
Yeah.
get all new like it's really annoying.
that is annoying.
I think more than anything,
Yeah.
than it being like scared. But a couple days ago, I walked out the house without my phone. I didn't realize it because I was like, why isn't my music connected to my car? And then I was like, oh, because my phone's not here. But I have Spotify through the car already signed up. So I was like,
Yeah.
I know where I'm going. It is.
It's nice to leave your phone at home sometimes. Just go shopping, go to Home Depot, go to the grocery store. Like otherwise, you're looking in the phone trying to shop around the stores. Like just leave it at home.
I don't know about y'all, but I ain't leaving my house in Atlanta without my phone because I need my GPS because I need to know where traffic is and where I need to avoid. I'm going to have my phone when I
Your
leave.
car
the
has
house.
navigation.
Oh, I ain't never used it.
And that's not knowing how to use your calendar.
Exactly. The cars have as much technology, everything else. So
I've never used that. Yeah. So I'm going to have my phone.
Use it on
I think I might have nomophobia. I think that I do have a fear of being without my device. I need to work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it does kind of bleed into the next topic that we have, which is like that dependency on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's obviously a lot of talk now about the dependency on AI, on even, you know, technology of like, I know my routes that I always take, but it's like realistically, I couldn't just do what my mom used to do, or, you know, our parents, they get on the phone and they'd be like, all right, you take I-85 until this exit. And then when you get off, you make 2 lefts and a right. You'll see a big sign on your left. You'll see the KFC. I couldn't do that to save my life right now.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because my mom was just telling me a story about how they used to get around walking, right? She was like, they would follow the train tracks to wherever they would go. Like they knew the train went through where they needed to go, or they go through the woods, like the forest. And I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, my great grandma knew how to navigate through the forest. So it's like, they ain't have phones. They had paper maps. Remember when we used paper maps? Like,
it's crazy because even, I mean, not for this conversation to go too much in depth on, but it's like that evolution of technology where it sounds, even now, like some of the things that we experience, it's like it sounds archaic.
Yeah.
And it was actually less than 30 years ago. Now that I think about it, it's like I remember being 10 and still writing down the backwards instructions so we could know how to get back in reverse of what we did from my mom. And it's just super interesting how quickly things have evolved. But with that quick evolution, how dependent people are on it, a little bit back to our last episode, for decision making and their thought processes, which is super interesting.
Right. Yeah, so we're seeing a loss of critical thinking skills, right? Again, going through the woods, taking a shortcut, simple things that evolve to us being strategic in our companies and our businesses or even amongst our friends, right? So we're seeing individuals' ability just to analyze situations diminish, right? So we go back to, I'm kind of dating myself here, but I had to write a paper, had to write a draft, critique that, then rewrite it. I mean, we eventually became to typing it out to a computer and redraft and have different versions. But now there are people that are going to skip that process. They're going to get a prompt from their teachers and they're going to put it into a large language model to write a paper for them. They're not going to validate it. They're not going to fact check it. So we used to go through encyclopedias, Yahoo, Google, all of that's pretty much going away. And it's pretty much saying, hey, go do this for me. And I'm not thinking for myself. So that loss of critical thinking is scary for the future.
But there's a famous Einstein quote that says, and I'm going to misquote him, but it says, if you can go find the answer, you don't need to remember the answer. That's the age we live in.
But who says the answer is right, though?
That's true. Because if you Google, is coffee bad for you? You'll find 100 pages that say coffee's bad for you.
Exactly.
If you Google, is coffee good for you? You'll find 100 pages that say coffee's good for you. So you're right. It's all relative. Yeah. You're going to see both ends of that question.
And that's that shortcut. That shortcut is terrible.
Yeah. Well, and even people using those large language models, what's interesting, and I sent it to you guys, what was that, maybe last week, where there was something that came out that basically the founder and CEO of ChatGPT was like, people are using this for what? Like, you guys do know AI hallucinates. Like, it is inaccurate. Like, it does not, it's actually not a source of truth. And I think it's super interesting because it's the things that you still have to read and proofread what you get back. You still have to, again, back to that, well, what do you think about it? Or have you sought out, you know, a real licensed professional that's gone to school for these things versus something that's scraping the internet to give back kind of what they see.
So it's interesting that you say that because the way I use the large language models, the ChatGPTs and et cetera, where I take a positive prompt and I take that same prompt and I put it into a negative question as well. So now it'll give me separate answers. Some may overlap, but I can find those gaps and I can close off why is it missing and why didn't it speak on the positive front or the negative front, and then I could push myself forward.
Can you elaborate on what a positive prompt versus a negative prompt is?
So a negative, similar to what Oda said earlier, where, you know, give me 10 reasons why I should drink water, and then give me 10 reasons why I shouldn't drink water. Positive and negative prompt, you know, it'll give you reasons to why, and it's like they may overlap, they don't even cross over. So it's allowing you to expand your mind and saying, well, why did it touch on this in this way, and where is it getting this information from? So I use it in work every day, but it's from a standpoint of, again, how can people leverage something from a software perspective or coding? Like, how do you find these gaps, these holes? What can go wrong? What can go right?
I think people don't realize too, there's some reference. Like you can actually click to see where the reference of a lot of these things are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, ChatGPT will show you. It has like a little link to the.
So when
I
you
use another law.
but either way, you probably can ask it to spit back some of
Include
the reference, include your references. And I've used that to help validate what do I decide to use, because some of those references, you're like, this is straight BS. Like you'll go to it and it's added out. It's, very clear. Like this is just somebody made this so they could add surf or whatever it's called. And it's like, it's very interesting. The more you educate yourself on these of like, okay, how much of this do I actually want to garner, or adjusting your prompts to be like, I would like these only from medical journal resources, really being specific on what you would like.
I want to touch on two things you just said. I want to bring two things to what you just said. So one, with Sam Altman, OpenAI, ChatGPT, founder, saying like it hallucinates and stuff. There's a Facebook group I'm in. They try to they put in prompts that they know ChatGPT will give you back the wrong answer. So don't always rely on ChatGPT, large language models. Some of those answers could be incorrect. And the second thing about over-reliance, right, our main topic, Bill Gates is famous for saying, Tim Cook, Apple CEO, famous for saying they don't let their kids use devices. Apple CEO doesn't let his own kid use iPads. Facebook, Microsoft, they don't let their kids even get on their platforms or have a device to get on their platforms.
Do you know why? I'm curious. Do you know why?
Because it's the devil. I don't know. Because they want to prevent the over-reliance on it, and they want their kids to have critical thinking skills. They want them to have social skills. They want them to kind of grow up how they grew up. Creativity, right? So there's a lot of factors that the kids nowadays miss out on, characteristics and qualities they miss out on because they're always on their device.
They're discovering shortcuts instead of learning how does you get from 1 + 1 = 2, but now it's like 1 + 1 = -1. They'll let Elon tell it so.
So what do y'all feel like y'all real screen time is now? Like if you had to put a number on it, because we talked about it last episode and I said we coming back to it. I know, like you can go look on your phone now. Like mine weekly average is 8 hours a day, which is ridiculous when you think
just for your phone. You're not counting your computer, right?
It's just my phone. It is just my phone.
It's just your phone. No, mine is like 7, 7.5.
I mean, 8:30
but
now.
My last week is not good because I downloaded things to watch on my plane rides. So I never take those weeks into consideration. But I would say actually it does normally average around 7 to 8.
Yeah.
But your screen is on, but you may not be looking at it though, right?
No. It's active screen.
This is because screen time.
So how does it get that? Because my podcasts are on YouTube or Spotify's on, so the phone is on, but I'm not looking at it. I'm looking.
But that still counts as screen time.
So yeah. So,
so that's why I said certain things.
You looking at it versus me being.
Wait, but are you talking about Audible or you have the video playing?
The video playing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But to your point, I'm listening to music when I'm getting ready. I always have my phone playing music or something.
But
I'm
is the screen on?
No.
Then
so it don't count?
I don't know. We should have looked.
We go look into that.
We'll have to come back. But I'm curious if it counts because I thought it was screen time, which means not listening time, but like, are you actually, looking at it, using it, functioning with it, which would make the most sense to me, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough, right? And this is why I never wanted to get an iPhone. It's because of the FaceTime feature. There's not too many people while I'm talking to them not on FaceTime. There's no more sitting here on the phone like this or let kids tell it like this. So
what don't you like about that though?
Because I'm looking at the screen constantly. It's just that blue screen. I'm just looking at it all day from my computer to my phone, and it's nonstop.
I love me some FaceTime. So we've been the opposites on everything. I love me some FaceTime.
Your eyes not get tired? Like seriously?
No, I get them checked now because I don't, and I'm still 20/20 vision. So
I think it's more than that we don't know yet though.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's gonna happen.
There's caveats to everything.
We don't have no data.
So next question: Do you think the use of tech that we use tech to numb out, or we use it to be connected? right? So numb out, right? Just being flipping through Instagram, like you're not paying attention to nothing else outside of your world, right? You seen people run into each other, like bump into each other on the street, like car accidents.
Yeah.
So like, do you all use it to numb out, or do you use it to be more connected, or both? I'm both.
I'm definitely both, but I think it depends on where I'm at too. Like, because there are just certain times where, for sure, life is like, I have too many responsibilities. There's too much going on, and I need to escape.
Right.
And it is a full on. I am sitting just in the phone.
Yeah.
There's nothing productive happening.
That's
at
fair.
all.
Yeah.
I try not to do my phone too much, but definitely like a TV show or a movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I could put my phone
Actually,
down,
you're right.
but then I have a distraction with like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's true.
At least I get my thumb a rest.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. Having to realize that your thumb aches because of the activity that you're doing is a wild realization. Where you
So when we got on the computers and we had carpal tunnel, now we're gonna have thumb tunnel.
So and I'm probably gonna say this. I'm gonna say it now for the next 30 years. I want to invest in chiropractic companies.
Okay.
Because every kid I see like this hunched over,
oh yeah,
it's like neck and back and shoulders. They're screwed.
That's funny you say that. So I saw this study that predicts how we'll look in the future. They said we're going to have a hump. And I'm like, 1,000 years from now. But they said humans will be born with a hump in their back because we like this all the time. We'll evolve into that.
I believe it.
So we're going to get shorter and just...
And dumber. Like that movie. You ever seen that movie?
I've heard about
Idiosyncrasy?
it, yeah.
Please watch Idiosyncrasy.
Yeah.
I think Terry Crews is the president in real life.
Dear Lord.
So, yeah, like it's just like the world we live in.
Well, speaking about like maybe the potential of getting dumber or slower, if you will, we have a bit of a topic on like the emotional reliance and like emotional connection to your devices, like using TikTok AI for therapy, for, guidance on how to actually go through life, like reading subreddits as this is the way I need to do it. Or even some of the things, I don't know if you guys have heard of like the guys who choose the red pill and like get into, so it's like super interesting. What do you guys think about those types of things?
I think it depends on the generation, which we'll talk about next episode. But I feel like for me as a millennial, I would never turn to TikTok for therapy, but I am connected to people who have similar stories like I do, right? So I feel a connection, but I need that interaction. I need the human. I need, like my therapist, I need you to be telling me.
You say you turn to TikTok?
I do not turn to TikTok.
Okay. That's okay.
I would never turn to TikTok for therapy or any social media platform for therapy.
But what about technology?
Yeah. You use ChatGPT.
Would I use a bot for like, I don't know now. Hold on. That's a great question, because now that bot has all of the information and knowledge that's out there in the world and can come up with a great answer for my issue.
Doesn't though.
And give me resources.
Well, but here's the thing, and I agree, because there are so many different types of therapists and the things and like their approach to therapy that they take on.
Biases.
That's a part biases.
That's true.
And so it's like, if we all did resort to a bot, are we all going to basically assume the same types of like things to heal, or if it gives you options?
So there's so much information.
I think that is very unique, right? I think something that deep and emotionally tied to yourself is it can be dangerous for somebody to take in information, because again, there's already been people and individuals who go to the internet, they read these stories, go to the dark web, right? That stuff is not there for years, and they go, again, mass shootings or do other stuff to themselves, suicide, whatever else. So I think we have to be very careful when it comes to letting these robots raise us or teach us or train us.
I have a very good use case for that, though. There's a school in Florida that does not have any teachers. The students
started with this as a school in Florida.
Yeah.
Sorry. Please finish.
It's a good story. No, Florida man stories, not a Florida man story.
I was saying,
there are no teachers. The only adults there are to make sure the kids are in the class. All the kids are being taught by AI. All of their scores are higher than any other school in Florida. All of them pass all of the competency tests. They're ahead of their grades. And this school don't have to pay teachers. They just use large language models to teach their kids.
You know that these kids had any...
And they still have sorry to interrupt you, but they still have playtime. They go out and play for a couple hours. They do the AI stuff for 2 hours. They go play for an hour. They go eat lunch. They go do other things, financial literacy. They go learn other things besides sitting and learning math, science, and, geology.
Yeah, and I'll be real curious about that pool of students they selected too, though. Like, again, low income, high income, two-parent household. Of course. Yeah. So they're doing a lot of stuff at home too. That's another situation, another story, but I don't trust in the school system either.
I think that would be dope. Son. I mean, teachers are underpaid and overutilized, right? So why not leverage AI to teach our kids about the basic stuff that they need to learn, like 1 + 1 is 2, and green and red and yellow, and all that they can learn it from a box.
So we think they're underutilized now, and you're trying to get rid of them completely.
Possibly, and these teachers can go do something better with their lives instead of being overworked and underpaid. How many teachers are super happy with their career? Like they're giving back. A few. I need you to say a lot. You said if you would say a lot, then yeah, but
honestly, most of them after a certain year, they're like, hey.
Yeah, and they're not progressing with their, like, they become a doctor, and they become a superintendent, all that. Teachers who've been teaching for 20 years, these bad kids. No. They be like, yeah, I go do something else with my life and let these bots teach the kids.
But I do think in that same vein, where I thought you were going with it actually was like, they're underpaid, overutilized, was having teachers though that maybe at a certain point, because I do agree, maybe it's like, hey, okay, you utilize the bots and everything for like K through 5, because honestly elementary school is like whatever. No offense to anybody out there, thank you for enriching my kid. Yes. But I do think then it could be actually using teachers to really specialize in things that it is, maybe we teach them social skills as people, and there are actual classes to that, of like even things that I actually do find valuable, which is like how to debate, how to actually have just like an emotionally intelligent and respectful differing opinions, because that's been lost. Like some of these arts that maybe are actually more enriching for us, instead of having a teacher say, okay, how do you count, how do you add these things, it's like, no, let's use them, because then those skills are so important to raise emotionally intelligent people, that it's like, okay, we teach the things that quite frankly a bot will not be able to teach you. We teach just things that I think are soft skills that can get lost because you're not in a space to actually do that.
And honestly, this school is just a new age version of what we did growing up. We were watching Sesame Street, learning ABC 1, 2, 3. Our parents might have been in the other room. We were learning, watching the TV screen. So this is the 2025 version of that.
I mean, to a certain extent, because what is Miss Frizzle? What is that?
Oh, no, that's
school bus.
But what's the other one now?
I was one for us. Yeah,
but like there's one now, Miss Pat or something. She be like singing the number, like she's singing. I don't know. I don't have no.
Well, I was saying more for outside of like the baby era of like learning.
Some of Gracie's Corner.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But,
so they teaching our kids too. YouTube teaching our kids. So man, get them bots on them kids.
And I'm one of those ones. I don't like my son having a phone, or I never want him to have a phone. So I think it's making them stupider.
So you don't want him to have that dependency on devices, or AI tools.
No. Not until he's older.
You don't think he's gonna fall behind by not having that?
Because he's gonna be able to think for himself and critically think at that part. So what I tell him to also, going back to the school in Florida, these kids are learning how to follow directions. That's about it.
That's what they teach us in school now. Follow directions. Be an employee. They're not teaching us to be financial literacy. They're not teaching us how to freaking be our own entrepreneur, run a business. They teach you
I get that. But again, you're talking about a subset of kids who already come from high-income households. That's going to happen regardless of high-income households.
That's true.
So, again, I don't think they're doing anything special. They're just giving them more access to actually have money to go invest and go spend either money on Roblox or Robux or Fortnite, or they're going to take that money and go invest it. So some of us, again, i.e. myself too, I don't consider myself a millionaire or a 100,000-aire. I guess I fall in that realm.
Yes.
But
yes, sir.
yeah. But again, we teach those same kind of methods and talk about investing and multiple streams of income, revenue streams, all that. So
you talk
to my nieces and my son.
You are a rarity. I mean, that's not across the board.
You do not do that?
Not yet. I'm actually trying to figure out how. I said not yet. Well, but also
that's a no. That means no.
She's young though.
But also one of my caveats though is I actually am more trying to figure out how to explain not only financial literacy, but understanding how to. Well, I guess that's still financial literacy. in a tech space though, because it does not make sense for me to give my daughter cash in a world that I don't even know if that paper is going to be made. So for me, it's more of like, I want to make sure she actually does understand the value of a dollar when it is just a figure on a screen. And so that's the thing for me where I'm like, there's no point in me trying to say, okay, this is a penny. Go give him your money. Like, there are places that are cashless. Right. Yeah. So it's like, what is she going to do? So that is actually the hurdle I'm trying to understand as she's getting to an age where it's like, no, I do want you early to understand financial literacy. But there's a lot of privilege in us saying that too, and being able to give that to our kids. But I do agree that there is a fine line. So it's not that I never want Bryce to have a phone, because I have a young woman that I personally, in this day and age, I don't want her to walk around without access to other people, without me being able to know where she's at. But I'm interested in her having things that only have very limited control, that as she gets older does not allow her to download anything. I would actually prefer a phone that's like, hey, has your location, you can call, you can text. That is it.
So I'm gonna be the stats guy again. So I got 2 more stats and then our last topic. All right. First, 20 to 30% of young adults show signs of smartphone addiction. So that's about a third of our young adults are already addicted to smartphones. So they grow up with them in their hand.
They beat up teachers.
And then
crazy, I know for them.
68% of people who identify as tech addicted report poor sleep. So that's why I want to take it, right? There's like, how is it affecting our physical, emotional, spiritual, like well-being, our mental health, like by being so reliant on all this technology and these devices?
I mean, it's ruining it. Yeah. I mean, the simple fact is screens were created to captivate. The literal technology behind it is to bring you in. And even when you think about how things are structured, we're talking about, oh, what would you do without, internet for 24 hours? We're like, well, we can't, because we can't work. Right. So it's like, not only do we have this thing that maybe when we were growing up, it was like, okay, we have to be concerned about it when we're watching it at night, whatever it might be. Oh yeah, the TV's going to rot your brain because you can't get away from it. But now we're talking about 8 hours on our personal device, right? Plus 8 hours, 7.5, maybe some of y'all 3, but
3 whole hours.
I know, 3 whole hours. But it's like, when you think about it, that literally only leaves the 8 hours to sleep. If
you get that,
And so I think there's definitely a lot to say about. Yeah, it's there's no way long term this is going to be positive without some form of adjustment.
So you think, so to that point, right? I always try on my nighttime routine to like stop being on my phone or TV for like a couple hours. That's I know. That's what no FaceTimes after 10 p.m. So that's been scientifically proven to help your sleep and just your overall mind state, right? You're not on the device for a couple hours before you go to bed. But also, like, I feel like people aren't real with themselves and telling themselves that they're addicted to their devices. Like, it's an addiction. Yeah. There's literally people who go to meetings saying, I can't be without my device. That's the nomophobia. They go to meetings. There's meetings for nomophobia.
AA, but I ain't heard of
DA? Device addiction?
Device
addiction. Yeah.
I don't want to laugh because it's going to be a real pandemic.
For sure.
It is.
For Gen Beta, the people who are just born now are born with AI at their fingertips.
I mean, technically Gen Alpha too.
Yeah, Gen Alpha, right?
Because they're not old enough to cognitively know anything different.
So it's going to have a long-lasting impact on our people, especially us Black people.
I mean, so maybe to like end us off and wrap it up, what are some positive things that we think we can then do to maybe change or, kind of get ourselves out of this, hey, we fear for our like future type of state with this?
2 things I think I mentioned on the last episode. I just spend 10 to 30 minutes a day in not silence, but with no device. And then nighttime before I go to bed, no device 1 to 2 hours beforehand. I limit my time. I don't watch TV during the week anymore. So that's a whole bunch of hours that I'm not on Netflix after work. So it's really limiting myself. I have the apps on your iPhone where it says you can limit your the apps you're on. Even though I press ignore, or what does it say? Add 15 more minutes, right? Or ignore for today. I'm always ignore for today. But try to incorporate those limitations on your phones and all your computers. I don't know what else. What do y'all think? What other things you can do?
I just like to use technology for things that's going to make my life better, right? If it's budgeting, if it's finances, if it's creating a workout plan, I would say disconnect from your day-to-day work activities and connect with people outside. Go to the gym, go to the Beltline, go get coffee, go to the movies, just be with somebody, get a human interaction. We're still on a team. It's us versus them.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Technology and the robots. But we're kind of early on that. But it's still us. We still need us.
Yeah. I would say for me, a lot of it is, especially working from home. I joined a community to force myself because I spent the money on the membership. So it forces me to say, hey, either you chose to waste thousands of dollars on this membership, or you do have to drive. You have to take a commute. The commute alone gives me at least 50 minutes round trip, going there and coming back. Where it's like, okay, I'm not on my phone because I don't play about texting and driving anymore. Right. Like, there's too many things. So it's like I'm literally listening to my music, paying attention, whatever it might be. And then that allows me to also be social because there are other people there. So I'm not stuck in those break times feeling like I have to pick up my phone. Instead, I'm surrounded by people to talk to. There are things going on. They also have pretty good programming there. So it's like finding those outlets have been really helpful, along with things like working out, things that force you into, I'm social not watching anything, right? And not the walking on the treadmill, watching my show, but like getting active, doing those things. And then I also follow the 3-2-1 rule, which is no food 3 hours before bed, no drinking 2 hours before bed, and then no technology an hour before bed. And I do my first hour waking up, I don't look at my phone either. So I can actually just like wake up and not open my phone first thing. And then I actually avoid social media. I try to. Let me not act like I'm holier than thou. I try to avoid social media at least until after I've eaten. Okay. So it gives me, it's not necessarily, there's no rhyme or reason. But it just helps me because then at least once I do touch my phone, I do my devotional first. So it's like I'm enriching my mind first. I'm getting myself connected to something that's important to me first. And then normally that's anyway, like eating and all that stuff. So it helps. So I think just finding gaps to try and like say, okay, at least I'm putting my best effort in to take care of myself, to try and make sure I'm doing the things that I know can help. Yeah. But we all fall, I have weak points and weak days, but
that's awesome. Those are good advice for our audience. So with that, we will see y'all next week. Like, share, subscribe.
Bye y'all.
Peace.
See you.